Good morning, trading world. It is March 21st, 2022, 7:17 a.m. and this is my pre-market technical analysis for day trading the SPY. The title for today's outlook is Back to Business of Consolidation. Today is simple. The time frame that is in control is the daily. I have the daily up right now, and we still have space to run. Let me bring up some drawing tools here. All right, as I was saying, on the daily time frame, you're not ever completely sure of where it goes, but you have to be aware that we have space to run to get back into a technically oversold condition. So until the daily gets back into or near oversold from a technical standpoint, we will continue to chop and explore on the higher side of the range. This also gives credence to expanding the upper part of the range. So the bullish or the bulls have this going in their favor. We have space to run to get to the oversold condition. We have a positive momentum on the MACD, even though the trend is negative, but we still have positive momentum right now on the MACD. So don't be surprised if we get a alternate thesis sometime soon with an explosive move. So that is that, and let's get back. Let's get back to our key levels of the day. Give me a moment while I bring those up. Also, before I get into the key levels of the day, I also spoke on the VIX last week being crushed down into the low 20s. And if it were to happen, be prepared for exploration of the higher parts of the range and for things to kind of slow down a bit, maybe feel normal or close to normal as far as the price action goes. So this is exactly what we're seeing happen this week. So don't be surprised if we spend a while up here exploring the higher side of the range, chopping around for a bit. Let's get into the key levels of the day, and starting on the resistance side, we have the Jack resistance at 443, 444 area. We have the Queen resistance at the 445 to 446 area, and the King resistance at the 447, 450 area. On the support side, we have the Jack support at 442 down to 441. Queen support, we have 440 down to 439 area. And King support, we have the 436 down to the 431 area. When it comes to today's bias, the main thesis for today is bearish, closing below 444.52 with a projected low or target of 437 down to 435. On the alternate side, the alternate thesis is bullish, closing above 444.52 with a projected high or target of 445 all the way up to 450. Based on the chart time frame in control being the daily, don't be surprised at an alternate thesis move. The current channel we are in is 425 all the way up to 453, with the minor channel being 443 all the way up to 453. That brings us to the scenarios of the day. Give me a moment to bring those up. All right, our first scenario is our expansive range day structure. We could look to set a decision area or upper boundary around the jack or queen resistance area, one of these two areas, before chopping lower and then giving it another try, possibly pushing the boundary to the top side higher, and then at some point later today falling, testing the lower boundary and maybe pushing that lower boundary here even lower as well. That is the expansive range day structure. All right, our next scenario could be the rounded reversal day type structure. We could get a continued push, and I actually have the alternate thesis up first. So the alternate thesis is we could push higher and continue higher until we reach our midday chop around the queen or king resistance area before chopping sideways and then spending the second half of the day coming down with the same amount of force we came up with the first half of the day. So with that being the alternate thesis first, this would be the main thesis for the rounded reversal day type structure. And we have to be very aware of the vice versa scenarios with the rounded reversal day type structure, because we're kind of right in the middle of the range where things could go either way. There's really no bias as far as which direction things could go, because we're kind of in the middle of where we measure how far that rubber band can stretch. And on top of that, we have a growing positive momentum on the daily, with the daily being in control. So this you must be aware of for the rounded reversal day type structure. It could play off either way. And let's take it to the last scenario. The last scenario we have is our trend day up structure, and as things continue to firm up this morning, the probabilities continue to rise for the trend up day. What we are likely to see on the trend up day, if we can continue to carry this momentum, we could open, gap up, and at some point we start a small fade back toward the previous close, and we find support on or before that previous close. And from there is where the reversal and the main trend of the morning will start. We get this uptrend, which a lot of people like to call it the golden window trade, which is usually from that 9:45 to maybe 11:45 time frame. We get that strong uptrend towards our queen or king resistance area, find our midday chop around there, and begin the second half of the day with a head fake to continue up. And it is quite possible that we could continue up, but more times than not, we usually come back and have a fade going in towards the close if we have a really strong uptrend morning on this trend day. So don't sleep on the trend day up, because the probabilities as we continue to rise this morning continue to inflate the probabilities for the trend day up to happen. So that is our scenarios for today, things to be prepared for. Just because things calm down for a bit and price action kind of returns to a little bit of normalcy, don't slip. Continue to know and understand your risk. It is best if you practice and you understand just as much, if not more important, of where your risks are or how much you're risking in a trade, as opposed to where your target is. So continue to do that, and I hope this helps. And as always, wishing you a positive trading day. Have a great one.